Hotels are such an underrated part of Jurassic World Evolution 3, and today I'm showing you my modular set that I just recently made. So let's jump right into it. Welcome everyone back to Jurassic World Evolution 3. Could you just imagine, you wake up, it's your first day in the hotel of Jurassic Park, you look out the window and you see some Lokiceratops, some Dryosaurus, and what's this one? Chunkingosaurus. Oh man, that's gotta be awesome. But yes, this is my little kind of diorama, the setup of the hotel. This is the Jurassic Park gazebo. This is actually by Lemur on the workshop. Let me actually get the code for you guys. Gazebo. There we go. Simple Jurassic Park 1993 gazebo. And yeah, someone finally made a Labubu. Perfect. But yes, this is my little kind of experiment over the weekend. I really didn't want to build anything crazy just yet. I just finished up the Carnotaur. That's coming soon. But with that being said, I wanted to kind of flex some creative muscles. Now you will see that I didn't cover this up. We're going to talk about that and how to use these pieces in a little bit. But I just wanted to show this in action and how you could use it. This kind of hotel set is based off of Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. One of my favorite hotels I've ever seen. I don't have the pockets to really stay there though, but hey, it's super cool looking. So let me show you how you guys actually do this. So this is going to be on the workshop. The code will be, I guess I could put it up now. So it's a large hotel and yeah, sure. Oh, it is on the Hello? Oh, I guess it is on the workshop. Let me get this up here, I suppose. And yeah, here's the share code right here. Enjoy it. And while that's uploading, here it is. You place it down kind of weird. So in case if anyone from the Jurassic World Evolution 3 community is not aware, this is what I like to typically call a modular set. So this basically means you have a bunch of pieces that you can put together kind of like a Lego, and it makes that result in the back. And the best part about this, you don't need to have it look exactly as it does. We can play around with it. Now, when you're placing this down, and this is super, super important, it's only gonna work from one angle for the time being. So if you want it to work relatively fine, you're going to at least want to put it on the same XZ axis. You're gonna want to put it on the same XZ axis. So what that means is if it's facing that way, but I want it to be facing this way, all I gotta do is just rotate it 180 degrees or even 90 degrees, depending on which way the sun's coming in, if you want it to be facing the sun, etc., etc. I apologize, I'm no Evo squared. I can't make pretty paths to save my life. However, I can make a hotel, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. So with all these pieces in place, you can see we can push it over kind of like this, but that's going to be a little dirty. And what I mean by that is you can't get it to be exactly as I kind of designed it out to be. So what we're going to do for our PC players, you select one of these building parts, and I made this essentially just so that you guys can use this as its own. But here's how to actually use the modular set. You hold Control X, and that's going to duplicate. You can see it right down there, or you could click the button right up here, whatever floats your boat. Then down here, and again, I apologize console players, I'm not sure if you guys have this or not, but you switch movement snap to 1 meter. And that essentially allows you to get these very small increments of 1 meter like sections, which is super useful. And that's exactly how I designed this for. So you place that down right there. You want to make sure that there's only a tiny gap in between these two fence posts. You're going to do the same thing for the floor piece right down here. And with these two, I select both of them at the same time by clicking one, then holding shift, then clicking another. Now I do Control X, and that's going to allow me to copy paste that right up there. And luckily I have this one in the middle so that you can do something kind of like this. Let me push this away about right there. So I want to select all these middle pieces. Be careful not to select this one or that one. And then I push it right over here just so that you can see that post right there. We want that to be hidden right inside of that. Then from there, we can push this piece right over here. This is essentially kind of like a cap off point for each two sections or one section, however you guys want to make this. And then we push this piece right over here, again with advanced move. I have this kind of weird. Again, I use some very kind of funky pieces. I have it so that you have that little bit of a jot out in terms of that. You want that to be completely covered, the black piece. So you push that in, and from there, you can actually duplicate this and push this one all the way over here. We're actually going to work on doing this one first, so we want this one to be level with the other side. And from there, again, I click my I key, to open up multi-select. Super awesome hotkey right there. But then I push this right back in here. Again, I want this like wooden piece to be visible. You can see it's not visible right there, so I just push it out just a smidge. Then from there, I can put the cap piece right over here. And there, I have the hotel facade done at least. And then from here, you can kind of push these however you want. However, you guys might see that I have these all on like the same 3-4 floor kind of like look, but we don't need to do that. In fact, I have this set made specifically so that you can do whatever you want with it. So just making sure that these are perfectly lined up. Yes, they are. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use advanced move to push this all the way out of the way. And I'm also going to push these in. All right, now that I have that, I can kind of decide, that was a weird shadow glitch. I basically can say however tall I want these to be. So I select all 4 of those units, and then I do Control X again, and I could push them up as high as I want. Let's just say I want a nice kind of tall hotel. Again, advanced move, I can push those down just a little bit more. And I think I do want kind of like a single kind of tower, kind of like this. So I'm going to push these pieces in, and I'm going to work on one of these first. So I'm going to actually click that. I'm going to go into edit group, and I'm going to select basically down to here. I'm not going to select anything past this point because I want to be able to push this up as high as I can. So I'm just going to push that up 1 and then 2. Just basically have it be so that it's kind of capping off that point up there. Then I do Control X once again, push that in, and bam, I have my little tower. Now with all this selected, I'm going to deselect that right there. I can Control X that, and that's going to allow me to move it. And since I still have movement snap on, this is actually going to lock in place so I can get a very nice symmetrical building. So you can see I have both of these pillars kind of lined up together, and I'm basically going to do my best to get them to look kind of symmetrical. Again, we can cover up everything in here later down the line, but for the time being, locking that in. And once again, with both of those selected now, I can kind of move this out to be wherever I want it to be. And so I have my little tower up here. You can see it's a super easy modular system to use. That's exactly how I designed it. I wanted you guys to be able to make the most out of this, you know? Now keep in mind there is a limit to however many pieces that you can duplicate at once. So with that being said, I can only make one tower basically, but if I really wanted to, I can push all these pieces out to the other side. Basically about to that point, I think. Maybe just a little bit more in. Yeah, that clearance looks about right. So with that being said, I can kind of push these out. Again, however I oriented the other side, I'm going to push those right back there. And yeah, admittedly, this is kind of just a rough and dirty example of that. But there's so many ways to kind of customize this and make this your own. I really do like that dueling tower look. I think that is so awesome. And again, if you guys do end up using that modular set, the best part about that is that you can just place the hotel item right in here and boom, it just works like that. And yeah, you can line this up with the rest of the path. It's gonna look good. But yeah, that's basically how you do that. Again, there's super easy ways of covering up the backside as well, or if you have like this big middle section, I'll show you how to do that rough and dirty. Gonna go into roofs. I'm gonna look up flat because that's the kind of roofs that I like to use for a building like this. Now, if you want to talk realism, obviously it's a tropical environment in here. You would want to have something that pushes rainwater downwards. But we like to say John Hammond, he has magic water powers or something. I don't know. But with that being said, you can essentially keep duplicating all these on top of each other. This is going to be a super easy way of getting these nice big flat roofs to actually look good. And yes, my console players at home, I do apologize. This is going to be a very piece intensive set. I understand that they're working on the Planet Coaster community likes to call it the Oswald meter. No clue why, don't know who Oswald is. But that's essentially what limits the kind of building capabilities of console parks. I do apologize. I did not make this with console in mind, but you might be able to use it. Let me know if you're a console player and you actually are able to use this. That would be super cool to know. And yeah, just once again, rough and dirty, trying to get this all on the line for you. But yeah, you can do a very simple building like that. And there's also roof decals and props, a bunch of aerials in here if you want to have like comm systems, HVAC. You have a bunch of stuff like this, so you can kind of place these willy-nilly on top of here. Obviously, you'd want it to be a little bit better oriented, but there's a bunch of pieces in here to help boost up that realism. Again, you can just look at any example of any hotel in Google Earth to basically copy that, if that makes sense. There's also these pieces I kind of split up from the rest of the group too, just to give a little extra flair if you do need to cover up some sections, if you do need a little bit more of a flatter area. I did end up putting kind of like the ground on there, so it always aligns to the ground, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's my little hotel set. I hope you guys are able to make some use out of that. I can't wait to see some parks that use that. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. It's on the workshop once again. We can check out these dinos as we conclude. Again, a huge thank you to the channel members. You guys are awesome. Oh my god, there's so many of you. So cool. With that being said, have the most wonderful days. Please tag me if you guys end up doing something with this. I'm so excited to see what you guys are able to make out of this. And yeah, have the most wonderful days. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.